IDV is cursed. Now, you might think I'm talking about the community. Actually, no, I'm talking about the game itself. There's many things that doesn't look quite right, just like what's happening on this clip. Anyway, we're going to talk about interesting things that can be found in the game by doing some weird stuffs. You know, some things that I'm going to show you, you probably know. But of course, I got some crazy surprise that people that don't really look into them will never know about. So, let's begin the video. We're gonna start off likely by talking about this obstacle, which is kind of cursed because it includes a hate test. Basically, survivors can go under this box on top of the other boxes, but hunters cannot go through, with one exception being Percy. So the obstacle itself don't do much, it's a niche thing if you try to experiment with the map. However, we learn about something very interesting with Percy, because he's the only hunter that can go in the gap due to his power, mainly his dash. So what's weird about his dash? Well, everybody knows, at least those who play Percy, that when you dash, your hitbox is reduced, so you don't have to worry about colliding with objects as much. But here, we learned that he also reduces his height. For whatever reason, he can reduce his height to go under the gap. Which is weird because there's no reason to do that. There will never be a moment where Percy will need to go under something. And I believe that if I test this in Scribble ID, there's a possibility that, well, this height reduction can be seen. But outside in Vanilla, like the normal maps, you can clearly test this out on this obstacle. Yes, you've heard the title right, Orpheus Playable, the detective. But of course, that's not true because this is probably something the devs used to test the menu. This was accessible by a bug, which I think is probably patched. I didn't test it out. But I think that since many people used it before, it's probably patched. And you could find interesting things about this menu, like Orpheus being able to be Alice. I think that's skirts enough for me. Okay, what's next? True lockers? Well, don't underestimate these lockers. For some reason, if you go to this corner and start doing emotes or using an ability, you can kind of move away, but somehow your body hitbox is still there. So you can kind of leave this spot, but at the same time, not. For example, I move here, I can only move if I emote or use the book. In this clip, I'm going to go far away to show you something. Then I believe I will try to open the locker, which you can see by the highlight on the button. And of course, I can't, for some reason. But then I'm going to show you that I can actually do this with the locker next to the weird locker, let's say, the left locker. It is to showcase the weird anomaly that is this event. It is even weirder if you look at replays. Let me show you a clip that showcases the event. I'm gonna talk about mechanic of Hieroplanist which allows him to somehow dash through some obstacle if he's in elevation. And I believe this is cursed because Cheese Man is already strong without that, and he can do this. So imagine in match scenario, he do this, he can cheese you out easily when he's already getting distance. I got a few more clips to showcase this. You may be familiar with the Leo trick. Well, there's kind of a variation of this clip where you can go through walls, but with Evil Reptilian. What's kind of cursed is that it uses the crash, which you won't think that it will give this effect, but I found a way to go through wall using Evil Reptilian crash. And the reason I mentioned Hellember is because it kind of works similarly. If there's a gap between the wall and an obstacle, then it's possible to crash in between in order to appear on the other side. I didn't search all the spots, but of course this is not optimized. You will never do this in a real match, because it's risky for nothing, for little reward. But for Hellember, it's better because it's more consistent. If you throw a puppet in this gap, the puppet will at 100% go to the wall if you know where to place it. But here it's confusing and hard to do. And that will be about everything I wanted to show. The cursed thing in IDG5. Of course, the arrow-based one wasn't a bug like the other, but I still find it quite cursed that he has a trick like this when he's already very strong without it. So, I hope the video was entertaining and see you in the next one.